Hey there, boys and girls, the YouTube world. Today the Duff Dog and I'm here to see if we can't get this 1974 Chevrolet K10 running for the first time in 15 years. Do we need to take you to some type of Uber addiction? Courses, classes? First step is admitting you've got a problem, Duff. So it's super pleasant here in Podunk. We got to get this thing out of the snow. So why don't we cut back to when it was a whole lot warmer and we picked this thing up in a nice fence line in western North Dakota. I think we were only in sweatshirts. Yeah. And the sound quality's got to be absolutely horrendous right now. So I'm going to jump in the Bobcat, move a little bit of snow, and we're going to get this thing drug out of here. And my dog is chasing rabbits or something. All right, I guess I'll do this on my own. She's been sitting in the fence line out here rotting away for, well, since 08, so 14 years. Let's get her drug out of here, get her home, see what we can do. We're leaving the lawnmowers. We don't need those. Hopefully we can find a tailgate, huh? Out. You can tell by my breath and the frost on the windshield of the tow pig. Look at this backdrop we got here. Anyway, we got into the sandwiches pretty good when we were cutting up the old Henry J. So there's the front clip and the dash. And they're tied down tight on the trailer. We got the back of the car sitting in the back of this 74 Chevy. And we got the rest of the body cut into pieces, or the body, the frame, and drivetrain cut into pieces, and we threw it in a neighbor's scrap dumpster. So we're recycling that just for you, Greta. Gotta tie down a couple more things. We're gonna get out of here, aren't we, Maxie boy? Look at that backdrop, though. I don't know, Bear Butte or something Butte it's called. She's a Butte, though. All right, get these fenders tied down. And we're gonna drive like 5.5, 6 hours home. You're gonna stay here, aren't you, Max? We did see a couple pheasants. Took a crack at one, didn't get it. So we'll have to come back another time. Shoot some more birds, huh, Duff? Oh, you're so pretty after your bath. Yeah, Duff definitely rolled in something dead yesterday, so he's not gonna ride in the pickup smelling like dead animals. So it's chilly. I'll see you guys after a bit. Hopefully it's warmer. You gotta yell louder. It's really loud on top of the hill here. I didn't yell at all. Get him, Duff! Get him! Freeloaders! Jump on her nice jacket. Everybody just watches the videos just to see the dog. All right. What do you need? Some freebies?
Yes.
What are we doing? What's this for?
Raising money for a playground.
Ooh. All right.
Updates.
Playground it is. Almost took a little digger there. Loose footing. All right, we got our grab bags put together for the Lisbon Elementary School playground fundraiser they got going on tomorrow. Let's get this thing out of the snow and back in where it's warm. Duff! Well, Bernie's about unstoppable if you know what you're doing, so be careful if we ever got that figured out. You You guys are in trouble. She was buried pretty deep. Hey, Duff. It's waist deep back here, and it's my knees there anyway. Well, Bernie pulled her right out of that hole, no problem. A couple of clutch dumps can't fix. 2 flat rear tires. Bernie is the champ, and the heater works great in there. So we're gonna pump those tires up because I don't want to ruin them. They're like the best looking tires we could possibly wish for on something that was rotting away in a fence line for 15 years. Those diggers that they even called the super fleet. What are they, 715s? Anyway, we're gonna put some air in them and go inside where it's no wind. You know what old Bernie needs there, Dufflop, I guess? That's corn for the pheasants. Don't be eating that. He needs onboard air. Or I suppose we could keep this in the cab. Remember that sweet? Oh, we had 2 Fords. The 65 and the 66 that had belt-driven air compressors. Sure could use one of those guys right now. Yeah, you can see there's this, I don't know if it's a Chelsea PTO drive off the transmission. Oh, he had to notch his crossover, so he beefed her up with some C-channel, both sides. And that runs back, drives that compressor, fills that reservoir over there. Got our blow-off valve. We're gonna have to see if that works. There's our pressure tank. I believe that's our shut-off switch right there. Pressure switch kills the compressor clutch once she's charged up. This tank's quite a bit bigger than the half-ton. Compressor. Heard a click. Is it turning? Oh yeah, she's compressing. Holy crap. That thing shoots up right meow.
Hurry up, meow.
Wowza. At what point does it quit? Maybe he goes up to 150 and he's got a 100 gauge on here. Oh, sweet. She kicks right off at 100. Come on now, fingers. Oh, weird. The valve stem cap's not on it. It's like we put air in this once before. I guess pumping tires up gives him the zoomies. That dog is all jacked up on Hoover Schneef. Meow. Hey, you're gonna get squished under there. Come on out of there, you goof. Must have been all that corn he was eating. Don't eat, hey, that's pheasant corn. Come on, leave that for the ditch parrots. You got plenty of snacks inside. Oh, you silly dog. Anybody got a dog that eats corn? You got a dog that eats weird things like maybe, I don't know, White Castle burgers or tomatoes? Any type of vegetables? Starbucks? No, I think this thing gets slower in the winter. Don't worry, it's not blowing 20 miles an hour out of the north today. Only 18. Hey, enough with the corn.
I love cone. Cone.
I guess it's better than him liking clams.
I'm a clam guy. Hey, clam fishes.
Oh, hey, look what's in the back of this one. The back half of a Henry J. Or Allstate, as this one is. All right, we are back here in Studio D, where it is much, much warmer, and we're gonna give you a little insight on the Kaiser Fraser Henry J that we've been subtly hinting at in our videos. This week's Mortske Minute is brought to you by none other than Globex. Globex, the non-specific international company serving the needs of customers through service and synergy. So, the Henry J was named after none other than the Kaiser Fraser Corporation chairman, Henry James Kaiser. That's right, the guy named the car after himself, but it was supposedly voted upon. Who knows? So, Mr. Kaiser, Henry J, he actually started a few businesses throughout the years. He made his billions or millions, whatever you want to call it, building ships and supplying materials during World War II. He actually built a ship in like 4 days and 15 hours or something like that at one point, and they actually bested that record by building some ship in like 72 hours. So this guy is new his stuff. He was pretty good at streamlining things. Anyway, he had a bunch of money after the war, so in like 1947 they bought out the Graham Page Corporation. Him and Joe Frazier, who was actually the head of the Graham Page at that time, and they started what is called Kaiser Frazier, and then towards the end they bought out the Willis Overland Corporation, and then it was Kaiser Willis, and then it was just Kaiser Jeep, and anyway, so which Jeep still exists. So so I guess you could say his lineage is still out there. So like I said, after the war he had some money. He bought the pretty much defunct Graham Page, and then he got a pretty good federal loan because the federal government wanted cars that were affordable to the average American. So some of these stipulations of this 1949 federal loan with it had to be launched by September of 1950. It had to do 50 miles an hour sustainably. It had to seat 5 adults. And yeah, that was pretty much it. $1,300 was about $14,000 in 2021 dollars. This is all from the old Wikipedia if you want to go check it out for yourselves. It's got to be true. They started out with 2 models. Well, there was only 2 models pretty much ever, basically. For the Henry J, there was the Corsair, which was the 4-cylinder, 134.2 cubic inch 4-cylinder, which was basically the same thing used in the CJ3A Jeeps. It was a whopping 68 horsepower. And then there was the Corsair Deluxe, which was a whopping 80 horsepower and 161 cubic inch 6-cylinder. They launched these things, started building them in the Willow Run factory in Michigan in 1950, July 1950 actually, and they started building the 4-cylinders in Labor Day in 1950. It was a 2-door only. It was a 100-inch wheelbase. It was 2,341 pounds, real light. Publicly introduced September 28th, 1950. They made them through 1954, even though the 54 models were pretty much just leftover 53 models that they changed a couple of things too. Had pop-out windshields. The Vintag had a 54 in it instead of the 53. Basically the same thing as the Model T is what Mr. Kaiser was going for here. Something budget-friendly for pretty much all Americans that they could afford it. And he wanted it to be seen as inexpensive. But what the Americans saw it as was cheap. You know, your basic transportation needs is about what it came out to. And some of those ways that he made it cheap were inexpensive, was kind of neat. They didn't have trunks. Originally, you had to fold down the back seat to access the trunk. Later on, they found out people wanted to not get into the trunk through the back seat, so they added trunks, and it was a factory accessory option or accessory package that they offered. They only had visors on the driver's side, not on the passenger side. What else were there? There was some kind of fixed rear side glass, so there was no window regulators in the back windows. They were just fixed. They did add a tip-out windshield earlier or later, towards I think at the end, like 54. 53, they put the taillights in the fenders. Sears actually worked with them, and they rebranded the Henry J as an Allstate. Basically, the only differences was that they had Allstate tires, Allstate battery. They had a little bit different trim. They had the Allstate badging, and then a different grille, hood ornament, and hubcaps. Sears only carried them from 52 till the end in 54. The one that I actually have, I believe, is a 53 or a 54 Allstate. You can see where the Allstate badge was. Unfortunately, somebody got their grubby mitts on that before we carefully excavated this thing from the trees and swamp that it was sitting in. Interestingly enough, in 1950 they had 1.35% of the market share. By 1954, when they ixnayed the Corsair nay, they had 0.02% of the market share, so things weren't going very good. In 1952, they used the 51 leftovers, and they added a Continental kit they called it the Vagabond. There was 7,017 sold. They were available in Japan from 1952 through 1954 through a subsidy of the what is now the Mitsubishi Corporation, so that's pretty neat.
How neat is that?
And then also in 1954 they added a padded dash, so I'm guessing they just drilled a couple holes in the dash and popped it in there. So that's one thing we'll have to look at mine and look at the other section of this thing. I've got the whole car, well, basically the whole body, and we're gonna see if it had a padded dash at one point. And it had a 3-speed overdrive. Oh, that's the other neat thing about these things is, so one of the other neat things about these things is they were basically launched the American compact car industry that we know now. They just got to it a little bit too soon before anybody was ready for it. And part of it was the gas. You know, they wanted to have economical car to run because gas was a whopping 27 cents per gallon. Some of these cars were getting 35 miles a gallon. I don't know if that was the 4-cylinder or the 6-cylinder. And they actually had some competitions for fuel mileage back in the day. I believe they were sponsored by Mobil. Let me see if I can find it in my notes here. Here, I found it in my notes. So in 1953, they won the Mobil Economy Run. So, I mean, come on, this thing was an award-winning car one other time. Some of the other interesting facts was the first design was designed by none other than Howard Dutch Darren. You guys should know who that is. If you don't, go check him out. But the actual design that kind of these cars are based on was designed by American Metal Products, and then Mr. Darren got in there and he added the dip to the belt line, into that same dip to the windshield and the rear view, or the rear window, and then tail fins as well. So he had to add his little touches in there. I call him the eyebrow, but yeah. So pretty famous designer had his hands on it. They do have a really neat style. And the thing that these cars are basically known for, other than their obscurity and how they stand out like a Nash Metropolitan and how small they are, is they were super lightweight. These actually evolved into the Willis Aero car, kind of, because, you know, Willis and Kaiser and everybody got together. But anyway, a lot of guys love these things for gassers. Put a straight axle in it, set a great big and nasty engine in it. They're already light, short wheelbase, yada yada. So the demise of this car was that it sat outside for too long. So I'm thinking about just cutting the quarter panel on the door and the fender and welding it all together and putting it on the wall. I think it'd be kind of cool just hanging up there, and then I'd have another half to sell. This car is really, really, really rough, so I'm probably not going to build it into a car, but if somebody wants to own this thing, they could probably own it. Hit us up, mortskerepair@gmail.com. So anyway, that is your Mortske Minute this week on the Henry J, made by the Kaiser Fraser Corporation, brought to you by Globex. Now back to your regularly scheduled shenanigans. All right, one down, one to go. I just don't want to mess these things up because they're good. Well, they're not good. They look cool. Ready grip. Oh yeah, so good. Bernie's the champ, Duff. I know. Well, apparently that one is not going to take air. It was probably that way when we loaded it. We can fix that with a tube though, right, Duff? Well, I guess we're ready to roll this thing in the shop. Just one tire dragging, but before I do that, check out Mount Mortske over here. The grape Concord we put up there probably like a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. And there's like another 30 feet of snow behind it. Mount Mortske is probably 40 feet wide, and I bet it goes close to 100 yards back. That's just one pile. There's a pile by that building. There's a pile there and there and there. And a whole bowl that wraps around the shop. And some by the driveway. Anyway, I'm sick of winter. How about you? So I figured what we would do. I was sick of moving snow around that Concord. That Concord was out in the middle of nowhere. And then Mount Mortske creeped up on it. We're going to take bets. You send us an email at the special site. It's sunnyhillfarms@gmail.com. Chin's gonna put it right here, sunnyhillfarms@gmail.com. And in the title of that email, put the date when you think all 4 tires of that car are gonna touch the soggy, wet, mud, gravel, whatever's underneath that. You gotta put that in the heading. And if you guess the date right, we will send you some type of grab pack. If there's 4 of you that win, we'll send out 4 grab packs. If there's nobody that wins, then the next closest guess will get it. But sunnyhillfarms@gmail.com and the date. If you think it's May 7th, 2023. If you think it's 2024, I'm not going to be around to find out because I am moving south. But put your guess in the title. In the subject, put the date you think this thing's going to hit the ground. And then if you want to send us a dad joke down underneath, that'd be great. We love dad jokes. I'll give you my favorite dad joke. How do billboards communicate? Sign language. All right. enough with Mount Mortske. We'll give you some updates on that as things start to thaw. Currently, we're not getting much thaw action going on out here. You can't say unthaw. All right, let's get this thing back inside so that I can thaw out, and so can the custom blocks. Well, you all know how much I hate flat tires, and we're gonna get this thing running, no doubt. So we're gonna need 4 round black rubber units on this thing to make the drive just a little bit more user-friendly. And Wesley always thinks that it takes too long in my video for me to get tools out. So let's just get right into it. Let's jack this thing up, get the hubcap off, get that wheel off, go put her on our tire machine, and put a $20 eBay tube in there. Get this thing sitting pretty once again. Of course, some dummy forgot to roll this window up before it snowed. Yep, sure enough, there's glass in it. Just being lazy. Should we expedite this snow melting process by get some of it off this gem here? Look at this. 401 degrees. The old 67 was 400 degrees, so sequential serial number plates. That's pretty neat.
That's pretty neat.
You want to help with some of this snow? Oh, it's a perfect snowball. Making consistency. Oh, wait. No time for snowballs, we got work to do. Snow nuts, we could do some of those. Except I'm pretty sure this thing's full-time 4-wheel drive, so snow nuts probably aren't gonna work. Is there a square body tank? Oh, minty. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, it's like popping a great big healthy zit. So satisfying. Isn't that what the kids say, Duff? Satisfaction guaranteed. Well, in case you hadn't guessed, with the license plate, this came from the same family that the 67 Eldred, the C10, came from. That thing's still available if you want to own it. Otherwise, we might hang on to it and do something with it someday or use it for parts. But that one was Eldred. This is Eldred's son's pickup. He bought this brand new in probably 73, but could be 74. We'll have to look at the title. But let's take a quick look at this thing before we rip into it. So as I said, this is a 4-wheel drive. That other one was a 2-wheel drive. C10, K10, C 2-wheel drive, K 4-wheel drive. 10 is a half ton. This thing's a 74, so the second year of the square body. 73 was the first year. These have my favorite grills. They got that nice deep grill. It's got the chrome front bumper. It's a custom deluxe package, so it's not the Silverado, the high end, whenever that came out. I'm guessing it came out in 73, but it's not a Cheyenne. I think it's right down there at the bottom. 4-wheel drive, automatic, small block, I'm guessing a 350. It does not have lockouts, so I'm guessing it's got a full-time 4-wheel drive transfer case, which would be a 203 new process. That being said, it's got low range and high range. It's 2-speed, and then it's got low lock and high lock. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I'm sure somebody's gonna comment down below. It's got the 715 Super Fleet ready grips. I just think those things look so gnarly. Some 750s would be a little bit cooler. Get her sitting a little bit higher, so I'm guessing that's a 29 inch tall tire. So yeah, a 30 31 or 33 would be real good on here. It does have the trim. I think some of them didn't even have that. Like I said, custom deluxe model. The hood ain't even kinked yet, so we'll make sure to lube that hinge. The earlier, what is it, the 80 and older, it's got the hood that goes back to here. They don't have that valance. It covers the wipers. It's got the sport mirrors on it. Looks like the trim got ripped off, and so they riveted her on in a couple of spots. How's the inside look? Oh, another door that doesn't open. Maybe that's why we left the window. Can't, oh man. There we go, that was easy to fix. I'm guessing our seat's gonna need some work. Duff doesn't care. No power windows, no power locks, no tilt. A whole lot of fecal matter over there. No headliner. The roof doesn't, oh, never mind, there's a hole up there. I've never seen a hole in a square body up top there. The mice were fierce out here. What is it? Up by Johnson's Corner, Keene, North Dakota area. Way out in Podunk, Watford City, you know. Yeah, I always like these things. Some of these skid plates say what you got to do to put a camper in it, because everybody was putting campers in pickups back then. It is a two-tone, so they got that option. Again, you'd get this divider there if you got a two-tone. Missing that piece of trim. The earlier square bodies have the gas cap on the outside. The later ones, like, I don't know, 80 or 81, then they put the gas door on there. Somebody's gonna correct me if I'm wrong. Typical rot above the wheels and behind the wheels, like these things always get. Tailgate was missing for this one. It's got the tow bumper. Steel floor or wood floor? She's got the steel floor. Both taillights are in it and not knocked out. That's pretty good for a ranch pickup. Actually, the tops of the box ain't all caved in. Yeah, there's our Henry J project that came with this thing. That was interesting, loading that. It may or may not have folded in half. Cut to that video, also was much warmer at that time. Today, the Duff dog, Max, and Ty, are gonna help me get this Henry J loaded up. I think these cars were sold by Gamble's or Coast to Coast. This thing is rough, but it's a Henry J, and you just don't see them. Looks like it was last tagged in 58. I think it'll just go right through the windows. I don't think we're gonna screw up the roof. Hopefully it picks it up. We might maybe just go underneath first, underneath the bumpers, and get her out of the dirt. Yeah. It's nice. Somebody got the glass and the super cool emblem. Maybe there's some good stuff in the trunk. Probably not. Ooh, an old cast iron gear. Look at the floors in it though. Not bad. If a guy finds one that's really rusty on the bottom, you can graft the roof out of that one. But on this one, maybe. These things make the coolest drag cars. Or maybe we're just gonna have the nastiest condition Henry J. Looks like it's got an All-State flathead 6. I would have guessed this would have been a 4-cylinder car. All right, let's get her loaded up.
What'd you do?
Thank God I was like, oh, just a little hole in the roof. And then the car came in half. It was going so good. Oh, my word. So everything was going good until it wasn't. First it started with a little hole peeking through the roof. And then the roof skin kind of detached from the windshield. And then the whole back half of the car just kind of exited stage left from the frame. It's not good, Duff. Not good at all. Well, now what? Now she's on the trailer. If anybody needs a chassis for a Henry J. No, we're saving those. We'll save the sheet metal. Those, I always thought that like the little tiny fins on the back were the coolest.
It's got some stuff.
There's pieces there.
Nipples.
You're sick. Even had that same emblem up there on the front.
Oh, the coast to coast one. And they're gone.
Oh yeah. Oh, that millionth loader did a good job. We got about 4 miles to go to Grumpy's place, so we'll see how much car is left by the time we get there. It's not looking good for Team Henry J. So here's the plan with the Henry J. We really just want it for the sheet metal anyway, to make a gasser or to cut it and hang on the wall. So we're gonna cut her up. We're gonna nip the floor back there. We gotta cut the other A-pillar. And then we gotta cut a couple body bolts up here so we can get the cowl front clip doors off. And yeah, maybe save the bumpers. We'll see. I'm not gonna record it because it's cold out and the camera battery doesn't last very long. So, well, the little Kubota couldn't do it, so we got a 4430 John Deere. Here we go. Your worthless information of the day: the back half of a Henry J body fits very nice in a square body. Again, this thing's pretty straight. Not as rusty over here, but rusty enough. All the hubcaps are there. That's pretty cool. Again, I think that other gas tank looks like it was added on. This side's at least recessed. Pretty solid in the cab corners. Little rust in the doors. Rockers look super solid. I mean, straight pickup. But yeah, look at all that. I don't know if that's grain that the mice carried in or what, but I'm guessing the glove box is just full and it just fell out of there. It's got the key in it. What a deal. AM radio, no AC. What's behind the seat? Hopefully not an animal. Got the cowboy seat cover in there. No gun rack? What kind of cowboys were these? Okay, we're not getting that open. Wood grain inserts, nothing but the finest. We should pump that tire up, but at least it holds air. Duff, you want to come open the hood? Fender is real crusty, but again, super straight. These things, I always get it in the cups up here too. I wonder what happened there. This is the strangest thing though. I have seen it on some square bodies. I think mice and dust and dirt gets up in this front lip and can't get it out, and then you get a little humidification, and then boom, your hood sucks. Which is really a pain because it's not tacoed yet there in the middle.
Now listen up. T94, while it was in the staging lane, the hood was bent while being closed, as you can see. The seller will cover up to $1,500 for hood replacement and painting.
Can you imagine being that guy? That must have really sucked. I bet it made it his day. Or how about the guy who just bought it? Maybe it hadn't sold and then did that. Yeah, best part about the 73s and 4s is this super deep grill there. Duff, you want to take a break from sniffing out the mouse poops and open a hood? He says, I'm busy. Sometimes you just gotta do things yourself. Oh yeah, that hood is crunchy. And it looks like we're gonna go have supper. Should we just throw a battery in this thing and see if it fires up? Power brakes. All the square bodies had disc brakes. Flexi hose, so already means it's probably gonna have issues. Should we just throw a battery in this thing and see what happens with a 350, I'm guessing? Oh no! Oh, it says 350 to 400. Yeah, I think it's just a 350. We'll have to check it out. It says 4-barrel. Side post, top post. Oh, they got the same wood block here. No, it isn't a wood block, it's plywood. What a deal. The jack's missing, son of a biscuit. All right, where's the battery cable ends? At least the snow isn't cold. Which one's that? I'm guessing that's ground, seeing as how it's black. Oh, look at that. Duff, side post to top post adapter. What a time to be alive. All right. Are you kidding me? The air cleaner's rotted out? Ugh, that's not looking good. All right, the search continues for the positive battery cable. I can no longer feel my hand, so we'll just chalk that up as casualty of war. Son of a... We're gonna need a battery cable in order to do this. Blower motor, yeah, we don't need that plugged in, do we? Fixed it, maybe. All right, it's gotta be here somewhere. Where's it at? Oh. Okay, enough of that. I think, you know, to do this right, we gotta let this thing thaw out or get rid of that snow in there so we can check the fluids and check for spark. Oh, it does have points ignition. I always thought that was a 74 deal, but maybe it was 75. Maybe they just used up all the distributors they had laying around. Maybe somebody swapped it over. Who knows? But we're gonna let this thing thaw out. Brr. I'm gonna go have a sandwich to warm my hand up. What do you think, Duff? Take a sandwich break? Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta shut the shop down because the neighbor, aka Pookie, calls and needs help chasing cows. That's what I want to do. You want to be a farm dog today? Okay. You could stay here and chew on that bone. He says he doesn't want that old heifer all riled up anyway. This should be fun. Oh, here we go. Tits Up Ranch needs to do a better job of clearing out the road. Good thing we got the Expedition here. We're probably gonna have to lock her in 4-dig though. There we go. Oh my gosh. Oh. All right. Where's this critter at? Oh! Got the old lady with helping. Callie's so excited for me to be filming. Oh, this should be great. I thought he needed help. He's got you here.
Yeah, we're gonna need more help.
You're so strong. Hercules, Hercules.
Hercules, Hercules, Hercules.
Good thing I didn't show up a half hour ago when you called because you're not ready yet.
Well, I did have it in the corral.
Oh.
I did have it.
And then what?
The little calf stuck its head in there and pulled it apart.
Not another cow let her escape?
Yeah.
They're tag teaming this?
Yeah. You don't want to be eaten.
They're plotting together? Oh, that's a nice horse trailer.
It's a livestock trailer, not a horse trailer.
What's the difference?
One tax write-off, one.
Which one are we getting? The brown one?
Oh, the one with horns.
Oh, the one with horns. That looks like a goat. Cows is fun. If I get cows, I'm just gonna leave them here for you guys. Okay. Okay.
No pressure.
Gonna let this guy out? No. Don't?
Get them both from each other.
Okay.
Hey! Oh! Up! We have a name.
Yeah, come on. Oh. Yeah, take a poop or a pee. You mess with the bull, you get the horns.
We're up there like that with the step. Come on, girls.
I feel like we should fix that.
I think he wants to grab something to chain that up. Probably.
Yeah, because once they've...
Now they're gonna be really good.
Hey, 45 in.
But
Oh, I was thinking there was ratchet straps in there, but I took them out.
let me. Here, shoot. You gotta push her. We're going.
There. Oh man, the camera shut off. Let her back out so we can do it again. Hey! I just thought we should do that cab. So, I don't want you in there. This is great. Man, we ain't no cowboys. Now we're gonna try to sneak one out the side door. Callie, poke this calf. Boss. 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 Turn around. Great success!
We did it. We're the dream team.
We go into the ship. We go into the ship. Oh, I'm laughing that popped up the short slide. Oh man, I quit recording. We should do it all over again. And now we're stuck. If only you had moved snow beforehand. Kenny, how's it going? Are you having fun? Oh, it only took us 29 minutes.
That's it?
New record.
Okay, you follow me. Okay. I gotta put my driving gloves on. You better buckle up, Blazers. We're gonna give her the meat and potatoes.
All right. Well, ranching was fun. Thanks for the invite. We'll do it again sometime. Let me know when you need a Ford to pull your big fancy Chevy out.
Well, my Duramax blew a caliper today.
Oh, I forgot. Why didn't you use the diesel?
I only got 5 diesels. Why not use that ton?
And none of them run.
They run, okay?
All right. Well, what do we name this one? You didn't get a name. She's angry. She's gonna be Burger. Goodbye is her name. All right, back to work. All right, we got her thawed out under the engine bay, but look at this. Remember I was talking about that gas cap earlier? Now this one's inset into the bedside. You can tell it's factory because of the way that it is.
This is an aspen. You can tell that it's an aspen tree because of the way it is.
And on this side, she's just kind of hanging out in the breeze. So that sure looks like it was added on. And And to further back up my situation, that switch looks like she was hacked into the dash. And I don't know what that one does over there, but yeah, I don't think this was a factory dual tank pickup. But there should be a switch right over there by the ashtray. So that was added on. I knew something didn't look right there. Silly that they put the single tank on that side instead of just having it over on the driver's side. So when you pull up to the gas pump, you just get out here and pump. No, you got to walk around the pickup. Good call on that one, GM. Other than the fact that they're outside the frame rail or get pinched by the frame rail and like to explode. That ain't gonna be a problem for us though, is it, Duff? Hey, look, there's the 327 out of the last pickup from these guys. Oh, this one's got the same exact inline heater hose block heater thinger. It's a small block, power steering. Oh, it does have a solid fan. We can see if it turns over. Any coolant in this one? We still gotta find that starter cable. Where is that at? Oh, same battery hold down strap. What a deal. We're getting quite a collection of these. Oh, we got a little light on the subject. Sure enough, there it is, the black cable going to the battery. You don't suppose those same mice that rotted out that air cleaner neck got inside. You know, ruined a valve again. 2-in-1 fence line. That'd be great. Actually, it wouldn't. Come on. Oh boy. Have I ever told you how much I hate mice? That is the worst air cleaner I've ever seen. Yeah, sure enough, the mice have been in here and they've literally eaten 7/8 of the air filter. They've even rotted out the air cleaner. Completely seized the quadrajet. I'm thinking this air cleaner is gonna come off in pieces. This one's going right in the trash once we get it removed. Have I ever told you how much I absolutely despise mice? Listen to this hood. It's all from mice being in there and filling the hood full of crap too. They've been the demise of a lot of vehicles, and they will continue to be the demise of vehicles. We need to eradicate them immediately. You know, I'm a firm believer in the whole quadrabogs, but I think this one is beyond saving. That is, I've never seen a choke rusted up that bad. So we're gonna have to take that off, but let's check a few other things first, like the dipstick.
The dipstick!
Oh, don't be over. Oh no. The dipstick is rusted off. Not rusted off, but very well rusted. So that means there's something corrosive in there, like mouse pee. Can't wait. Absolutely can't wait. I mean, I'm excited about this one, guys. This is gonna be great. Small block Chevys, they all want to run. I don't even know why I'm putting that dipstick in there. Just to make myself feel better that I put it back, I suppose. Let's put a battery in it. Let's just get after it. Let's do it for Wes. Crank this thing over and see if it does crank. And when it doesn't, we'll just go from there. I mean, it's gonna crank. Positivity. Positive vibes only. Oh, look at that. The same said miceys chewed off all the plug wires. Well, didn't chew them off. Just nibbled on the boots a bit. No big deal. Just to be crazy, let's see if we can turn her over by hand. Of course not. Okay, can't rock it because it's an automatic, so we're gonna put a battery in it. Effie May is this week's battery sponsor. Is the negative gonna reach all the way over there? Oh yeah. We're gonna clean these cables up. All right, meow.
Hurry up, meow.
Come on, baby, just crank over for us. All right, come on, fam. Turn when I hit the key. Not even a click or nothing. So either we got a bad connection to the starter, I wiggled the shifter to make sure it wasn't the neutral safety switch. Could be a lot of things. So I'm gonna go ahead and just hook up a loser switch. We're just gonna bypass everything, and we could have a dead battery or one of these cables or these side post to top post adapters. I mean, we got options here. But let's at least get the starter to make a click. Or maybe it's the starter, Duff says. You ready to tear apart a starter? Yeah, that'd be great. Oh man, the ram horns, it's a lot easier to reach the starter wire than on the log style manifolds. Dang it. Guess I'll be going underneath, hitting it from the backside. I think I got it hooked up, but I'm not very confident, Duff, so let's give her a whirl. Oh, it budged. It's not happy about it. So, we're gonna pull some spark plugs. Put some oil in there, you know, so that it turns over faster, because oil clearly didn't help us last week. Let's see if it helps this week. Yeah. I mean, or clean the battery cables. Let's pull the spark plugs. At least it's budging. I can get behind that. Hopefully these ones look better. Oh yeah, that doesn't look too bad at all. I don't need that where we're going. ACR 44Ts. Oh yeah, these are all complete. All right, all the AC plugs are out. Everything looks pretty good, so let's crack open a brand new can of Croil and do the right thing and just spray down the cylinders, because that makes every engine all better according to the internet. Yeah, it does, except for that engine. It didn't work that time, folks. So now you know. And we'll do it again just to appease the masses. I love making this face just for that person out there who loves to leave comments about putting the oil down the cylinders. All right, fresh can of Croil. Do this. The spark plug's still out, so we're not making any compression. And some fresh Croil in there. Let's see how this thing turns over now. Really a lot better than it did before. Not so much. Well, what could be causing that? I guess we'll get the schlong out and probe around the cylinders, see if we can see what's causing it to not want to turn over. Well, you always look at me like that when I get the schlong out. Weird dog. All right, let's check out cylinder number uno. I don't even know what I'm looking at. Must be at top dead center. Sure looks like that's the piston right there. How about number 3? Oh, it's down there. I don't see a hole or a valve head laying in there. How about number 5? 5 looks good. A mouse house. Number 7. Again, no surprises there. And we just got a weak starter, or a bad battery, or connection. Oh man, number 2 looks good. Nothing going on in there. Same with 4. Number 6 is at top dead center. Near as I can tell, everything's all right there as well. And number 8. I don't know. I don't really see anything crazy noteworthy with the schlong, so maybe we'll check some battery connections and whatnot. Let's clean up these battery connections. I'm sure they're just as clean as the inside of that air cleaner lid. And then let's get rid of this adapter from the side post to the top post, because that can't be helping our resistance. Or this battery cable end. Ooh. I know how much Wes loves these things. Now let's give her a try. Oh yeah. Giving the old finger check on the compression. Not good on number 1. Got nothing on 1. Isn't real strong either. Maybe we'll probe around a little bit number 1, see if we can see what's going on. I think it was just those battery connections, hopefully. I don't know. All the cylinders look good when we probed in there. Oh, come on, starter. Real good. Okay. Let's see if we can diagnose what's going on with number 1 here. Go to your home. There's the piston. I don't see a hole in it. The problem with this scope is you can't see the valves. Oh, it looks like we got one hanging open there. Or that one's open because of where the piston is at. So I wonder if I can bump the key without smashing the probe and watch that valve. This should be great. All right. We just want to get the tip in there, just the tip of the schlong into cylinder number 1. No, the tip's all dirty. How did it get all dirty? Better? Yeah, I think so. If you ever want to know how awesome it is trying to be a YouTuber and deal with people on the internet and hold cameras, ask me, I'll tell you. Okay. Where's that piston? There's that. There is the valve that I bet is hanging up. I can't tell if it's exhaust or intake. Oh, it closed. Piston came up. Piston's out. So I'm thinking that's the other valve. Right there. On the left. And it don't seem like it's moving. That one is. But the exhaust valve is not? What do you have, a flat lobe on a camshaft? I guess we'll pull the valve cover off and see. There's some silicone on the hardware, so somebody's been here before. Alright, let's see what we find behind this guy. Oh yeah, because silicone down ain't coming off. Perfect. Oh, don't you love the sound of silicone tearing loose on you? Still holding vacuum? What a deal. What is the situation here? I'm pretty sure that valve cover was just straight silicone down. No gasket. All silicone. I don't know that I've seen that in a while. Got some Top-notch West River mechanicry there. Oh, it's even the clear stuff. Tub and tile. Real nice. Now let's keep an eye on this exhaust valve, see if we got a flat lobe on the camshaft or if I'm just dreaming. Well, it's moving ever so slightly, but she's super loose and the threads are about the same that are showing. So I wonder if that stud isn't pulling out of the head. These are a press-in style stud into the head instead of a screw-in style like a lot of the race car guys run. So maybe that's just pulling out. So let's tighten that up a bit. See if that gets us anywhere. These are the 882 heads. The last 3 digits are 882. The first ones are, what is it? 339, 333, 882? I don't know. I just go by the last 3 digits, 882. And just kind of your standard smog head. That's what I actually got on my 327, my station wagon. I've had pretty good luck with them. Seem like they work okay. All right, let's snug that down. See if that gets us anywhere. Got it so that our intake valve is open, so this one should have no tension on it. So we're gonna tighten that down until we get a little resistance. Go from there. Now let's see what happens when we turn it over. Ooh, now it's stuck. Well, guess we'll be loosening an exhaust valve. Put a little Croil on her, that can't hurt. Might as well hit them all while we're at it. Put a little pry bar on there. Well, let's make sure the intake's open. Maybe it isn't open. Yeah, we got a flat lobe on a camshaft. The reason we can tell that it is a lobe on the camshaft is this push rod runs on a lifter, which runs on a lobe on the camshaft. So we're taking everything out of there, and watch how much this intake moves versus the exhaust. Come on, starter. See how that intake moves 2 or 3 times more than that exhaust? Yeah, that cam lobe is flat, unfortunately. So we're not going to get any compression if the exhaust isn't opening as much as it should. But you know we're going to wing it anyways.
It's gonna send it.
We've ran small blocks on 7 before, haven't we? Let's take a look at the other one, see what they're doing. Oh yeah. Everything looks good. Let's see if we got any compression on 1. Just maybe by tightening that down a little bit, maybe we got a little bit of compression. Probably not though. Definitely not. So we might as well not even waste our time putting a spark plug in there or hooking up the plug wire. Okay, let's set the valve cover back on. Let her rip. Since we're running the loser switch, let's put a jumper wire on there and go right to the coil and see if we get any sparky spark. I'm betting this one does not, but who knows? All right, now we just need to find a good ground. Hopefully this vacuum hose will do it. Nothing. Imagine that. Everything looks good. Just gotta give her a couple flicks and points, maybe. The old Mortske flick. 60% of the time, it works every time.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Let's check to make sure it's turning. Definitely the rotor is turning. A few Mortske flicks. Now let's see what we got. Bam! Mortske flick, we need to patent that. Back on with our rotor. I did clean a little carbon tracing, as Freiberger calls it, off the end of the contact, so hopefully we don't have any issues there. the inside of the cap for any surprises. It don't look great. This thing had to have been running just absolutely terribly the last few times it was driven. Between a flat cam lobe, the way this ignition looks. I'm gonna double check, make sure we still got spark. Oh yeah, hot spark. Well, I guess we're gonna need to address the fuel situation. You don't, oh boy. I thought we had that opening. We definitely did not have that open. Ugh. We're gonna have to go find a different quadrajet because this thing is just absolutely seized. There's no fixing that. If we're gonna take it off, we're just gonna bolt something else on there for the time being anyhow. Let me go see what I can find. Well, since we're down a cylinder, we're gonna need the best carburation we got. I had some used quadrabogs laying around, but Chin had one all freshly rebuilt for the ramp truck here, so let's use that one and put on there, and then we can hopefully have a little bit better chance of this thing firing up as opposed to throwing some crusty one that I don't know nothing about. We already know this thing's a hurting, so we gotta give her all the love we can. The first thing we gotta do is get this old bugger off there.
Bugger.
Bugger. This one's barely even good for parts. Giving this thing every opportunity we can to live. Let's put a new gasket on there since the kit had one in it. And let's get our Super Scraper SS1 model here. Clean up this gasket mating surface. Also, if you need one of these, price and availability listed in the description below. These things are awesome. We just got a big shipment of them in, so we got all these sizes on hand. Hit us up, mortskerepair@gmail.com. We don't have a website set up yet for it, but we're gonna have one hopefully in the next month or two. We'll see. We'll have these on there at that time, but until then, you gotta send us an email, mortskerepair@gmail.com. SS1, this is probably the most used model I have in my toolbox. We also got smaller ones and shorter ones, the SS5 and the SS5S. Yeah, like I said, hit us up. We've been out of them for a while, but just got a fresh shipment in. They're worth it. You'll never regret it. All right, get this thing finished up. Slide our new gasket on. Bolt our new Reman Chin Quadrabog. I think these plugs look good enough. We're just gonna slam these guys back in, and we're ready to give her some hot sauce. Let's see what this thing will do on 7. All right, plugs back in, plug wires are hooked up. I left the number 1 off here. I should have unhooked the rocker shafts, rocker arms on intake and exhaust on that one, because bad things are gonna happen if we hook up spark, because there's gonna be fuel in there might be a little bit of compression, there's gonna be spark. It's got nowhere to go because the exhaust ain't opening, so it's gonna go through the carburetor. So we're just gonna leave the plug unhooked, so hopefully the fuel and compression, what little is there, don't get too crazy. I think we'll be all right. Like I said, I should have unhooked the rocker shafts like we did on that, well, on that 65? Yeah, 65 four-door we had that had a number 5 cylinder on that little 230, 256 cylinder. Just unhook the rocker shafts if you got to get home and you got a dead hole. But We got a new carburetor, we got spark, we got okay compression on some of the cylinders. Let's see if this thing will light off for the first time in 15 years. What do you think, Duff? Is she gonna go? Oh yeah, he's got faith. Seems how it's the same color combination as him. Yeah, he just wants to go for an RIDE. We didn't get to go for one last week. First thing we're gonna do is fill the bowl of this freshly rebuilt quadrajet. So we got some fuel in there. And we're doing that through the vent tube up here. And she's full. We're gonna give her a little splash. Hook up our 12-volt fuel pump. Now equipped with a switch. What a deal. Nice mojo upgrade. See if it works. And it doesn't. What the French? I guess I'll fix that now. Did we really find a bad switch? You just can't win.
5 minutes later.
Alright, should have fuel in there. Hook up our coil. See if this thing's gonna purr to life for us. I bet there's gonna be mouse turds flying everywhere once that fan starts turning. If the starter turns. Oh, we're pumping fuel out. That's what's spitting everywhere. Now the fuel pump's spitting fuel out because there's fuel in the tank and the fuel pump's pumping, so I'm gonna cut the line from the tank. So fuel pump's not doing that anymore. Trying to figure out what the heck was spraying all over, and then I could smell it. That's some bad stuff. All right, now let's see if she lights off. That fuel smells terrible. I got spark. Yep. You got fuel. Come on, baby. I don't think I hooked that plug wire up on number one, did I? I definitely did not. Something's backfiring through the carburetor, though. We better check our timing. Alright, where is number one at? Way in the back. 1, 8, 4, 3. Oh yeah, our firing order is all screwed up. Perfect. I guess we better find top dead center number one and go from there. Give her the old bumpski to get number one lined up with the timing mark, timing cover. Went too far, perfect. Just what I wanted to do. I'm gonna pull our distributor cap off here, and we're gonna try to figure out where the rotor's pointing. Figure out if it's on the number one compression. Oh, we are way off from where number one is showing. I think we're gonna have to pull that spark plug. I'm gonna stick this here piece of wire down there until I hit the piston. We're gonna bump it over till it's pretty much at top dead center and go from there. Because sometimes those timing marks on the harmonic balancer lie. And usually you would go by compression. Once you get compression in that cylinder, that's when you know it's top dead center. But since this one has no compression, let's just use the slong. Alrighty. Actually, we're at top dead center right meow. Lucky. Yeah, there is the piston right there. So we are at top dead center right now. And the mark is just past down there. I don't know if you can see that mark, but it's a good amount past. Well, not a ton, but far enough. So now we need to find out if it's on the exhaust or intake stroke of number 1. We could be 180 off, we'll be fine. We'll just flip all the plug wires around. So wherever the rotor is pointing is where number 1's gonna set. So we're gonna move all our plug wires around. Start from scratch. Because I think somebody's been in here. It was probably popping and farting because of that exhaust lobe. And so somebody started playing with the timing and it just got worse and they just kicked it out in the weeds is what I'm thinking. Because with that exhaust lobe, that thing's gonna be popping and farting through the carburetor pretty bad. All right, a couple of them were mixed up, so let's see what happens now. All right, here we go. Let's see what happens now. Let's hook up the coil wire first. A little fuel pump. We just forgot to say slingshot engage.
Slingshot engaged.
Not even a pop or nothing. We know we got spark, we know we got fuel, so it's just a matter of getting our timing figured out. It's kicking back a little bit like it's advanced, so let's retard it a little bit maybe. Distributor isn't loose. Let's take our distributor wrench and loosen up the clamp on our distributor, get that adjusted, see if that makes a difference for us. Hopefully it does. I don't know what else it would be. And I don't want to think about it. Come on now. It smells so poopy under here. I thought it was too far advanced. Oh, there we go. Retarded her just a little bit. Now let's see what happens. Still got fuel in our carburetor. Hook everything back up, see what happens. Here we go. Slingshot engage. Still too far advanced. Maybe we'll try advancing it more. We're not turning over fast enough. She wants to go. Well, why doesn't it? I'm gonna go get the battery charger, hook that up. Hopefully if we get her spinning a little faster, we'll build up some more compressionage, and then she'll light off. All right, get the charger on, see if we can't get a little bit more out of her. Doesn't seem like it's turning much faster. Let's check, make sure we got spark. Sure sounds like it. All kinds of spark. If we were 180 off, we would at least get some popping and banging, so we must be close on the timing. I'm really at a loss here. The timing seems like it's too far advanced, that's why it's causing the starter to slow down, but when we retard it, it doesn't seem like it gets any better. Maybe if we give her a shot of brake cleaner, that'll help it light off. I don't know. I'm running out of ideas. It's turning over slow like it's got compression. We know it's got compression based on the Mortske finger test. And we know we got fuel. We know we got spark. Maybe I'll pull a couple spark plugs and see how they look. I guess we could throw a new set of plugs in it. That certainly wouldn't hurt things. I don't want to throw a new set of plugs in a 7-cylinder small block. We'll do what we got to do to make this thing run. Okay, trying a different battery charger. Maybe our battery charger is on the fritz. Let's see what happens now. Doesn't seem like it's spinning much faster. What can it be? Close. I think it's flooded just by the way that it's popping off once I hold it wide open like that. So let's pull some plugs out. See if we can't. See if they're wet. Maybe swap some new plugs in. Then maybe she'll light off. They're definitely wet. And unlike other things in life, spark plugs are not something you want wet. Well, that one mashed full of grease probably wasn't firing. Guessing that was my fault when I installed it. This is all my fault. Just ask the people on the internet. They're not really as wet as I thought they would be. Let's grab some new ones. This thing needs all the help it can get. All right, Duff, what do you think? They're gonna make a difference? 7 new spark plugs, R44Ts. Keep your GM all GM. Pookie's got me doing this stupid stuff now. Kids these days and their silly TikTok. Well, I think it'll go. It's got to. It's got to go. It's that stupid flexi hose. That's our problem. Alrighty. Coil hooked up. Fuel pump connected. Ratchet out of the way. Slingshot. Engage! Sounds way better. Oh my gosh. I got the distributor just a little bit too loose and it's kind of moving on its own. So I'm gonna tighten it up enough so it only moves when we would tell it to move. Not like rotating. Well, yeah, rotating, but you know what I mean? The clamp is loose and the distributor's walking on us. And no, not Christopher walking.
What'd you say? Oh, yeah. You're talking to me all wrong. You do it again, I'll stab you in the face with a soldering iron. Does your mother sew? Boom! Boom! Get it a Sodak!
Christopher Walken, what a fun name. There we go, much better. You don't want your distributor all loosey-goosey, nimbly-bimbly, just dancing around in there.
Am I jumping around all nimbly-bimbly from tree to tree?
Okay, here we go. Slingshot. Okay, just hold on. Let's hook up the coil. Thinking we got plenty of fuel in there, so we're just gonna hold off on the fuel pump. Slingshot engage. Come on, baby! You know you want it. Oh my gosh, so close. She's got some blow by, that's for sure. That starter. Hating life right now. She's close. 24 volts would really make a difference right now. 24 volts always makes a difference. What is going on here? I'm at a loss. We got spark, we got fuel, we got compression. Our timing is close. It's right there. Right there. Maybe I'll spin that spark plug in that #1 cylinder. I don't know if that's going to give us a vacuum leak. Which, I don't know. Yeah, it's close. Come on, baby. Maybe some brake cleaner will dry out the cylinders. Because I don't have any ether. And ether never works for me. Sorry. Starter got a good kick in the teeth right there. Sign of life. Must be Chin's rebuilt carburetor causing all these issues. Just kidding, Chin. Keep up the good work. Hats off to that starter though, dang. Oh, you know why it's probably not popping at all? You gotta hook that up. How did it sound the best it's ever sounded? And we didn't have the coil wire hooked up. That's fake news there. she's got to be loaded up for sure now. You want more fuel? Give that starter a break. Oh, don't give me that look. It's gonna be fine. We got Effie May and Mr. Meeseeks tag team in here in series, so we got 24 volts. So the key with this is you want to hook up your coil to the one 12-volt battery, not to the 24-volt battery system. I'm guessing 12-volt coils don't like that. I know 6-volt coils don't like 12, so let's hook up the coil wire and see how long the old starter lives on this thing. Listen to how happy that starter is. Slingshot, engage. Come on, starter, be strong. It's so close. Get some smoke coming off the coil wire back there. Come on. You're fine. Shortest amount of time I think we've ever had a starter live on 24 volts. I think it's fine. I think it's just the Bendixes or the flex plate, one or the other. Come on, buddy. Do it for the YouTube. Just what I want to do is go swap the starter out. I bet that inspection cover underneath that torque converter and flex plate is really full of the mouse fecal matter. Well, there you have it, folks. We gave it a pretty good crack at it. But unfortunately, putting a starter on it is just gonna let you guys hear this thing run on 7 cylinders, because with that flat lobe on the exhaust side of the camshaft for the #1 cylinder, we're not gonna do this thing any favors by getting it running. So this thing needs a camshaft, and yeah, we probably should get it running, but for the YouTube, but we're running out of time this week, and we got better things to work on. You know, you guys want to see some projects, the Bel Air, the 63, the LS swaps, the F1, the square body, all that good stuff. So I think that's where we're going to wrap it. We're going to go work on something else this week. So thank you very much for watching. Check out the other videos. Remember, you can't win them all. And remember, it doesn't matter how you get it done, as long as you're having fun. I don't know that I had any fun this week. It was fun seeing a flat cam lobe. I think that's the first flat cam lobe that I've ever come across. Yeah, that I've dug into. I probably had stuff that ran like garbage and I never diagnosed it. There you have it. Small block Chevys, they don't always run. It would definitely run. Maybe we'll bring it back, but probably not. If you want to own this thing, price and availability in the description. We do have a title. This is a one-owner 1974 Chevrolet K10 4-wheel drive that needs a camshaft. and it needs a lot of mice eradicated. And it needs a Henry J / Allstate unloaded from the back. All right, on to the next one. 2 weeks in a row with no rides. Both small block Chevys too. Don't get small block Chevys from West River ranchers. Dang it. They got so many mice out there. Yep. This one's definitely an Allstate. Hey, after this thing thawed out, I did get in behind the seat here. And looks like, ooh, WD-40. Dang it, used up. Claw hammer, because carpenter things. A rusty Swedish nut lathe. Stanley flat tip screwdriver. Ooh. Oh, locking pliers. Oh, it's even the good one. Back when they were still made in Nebraska, I think. Oh yeah, she's a Peterson. Or a DeWitt, Nebraska. Yeah. Score. And a clevis and a whole bunch of mouse poop. We'll leave that stuff for the next guy. We're keeping the locking pliers. I'm probably gave up on this thing because of how nasty the steering wheel is. Look at that. It is sweating. That would probably be the stickiest wheel we have yet to encounter. Oh, it's so terrible. Somebody needs to own this thing. Correction, somebody else needs to own this thing. It's real nice. I'll even roll the window up for you. Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. Today the Duff Dog and I are going to see if we can't get this 1974 Chevrolet K10. Frick, screwed it up. Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. Today the Duff Dog and I are going to see if we can't get this 1974 Chevrolet four-wheel drive running for the first time in 15 years. Pretty good. Hey there, boys and girls of the YouTube world. Today the Duff Dog and I are going to see if we can't get this 1974 Chevrolet four-wheel drive running for the first time in 15 years. And then we moved the camera again. I almost died. Mojo, why'd you drain that water right there where I was going to step? Whew. Doing this week, moving cameras, always. Yeah, I don't think this was a factory factory dual tank pickup. The beauty of being a YouTuber, you got Mojo rolling around his toolbox. Ugh. And still going.